What's up, folks? Today I'm going to be showing you how to play a game called Sting. Now, Sting is a game that plays very much like Rummy. If you've ever played Rummy, you'll know that you're going to be playing sets and runs and trying to get rid of all of your cards. The object of the game is the same. You are going to be trying to get rid of all the cards in your hand. However, you are going to be playing runs and sets on your opponent instead of placing them in front of you. So this is kind of like Rummy with a twist. This is a rather unique game, as always, and I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and start teaching you how to play this game. I'm going to show you the cards really quick. As you can see, there are 4 different colored cards, and these cards number from 1 to 10. And there's also some cards like Pass a Pile, Take It Back, and I'll explain how those cards work too. And there's also these wild cards, and there's 4 different types of wild cards. There's a Wild Sting, and a double Wild Sting, a triple Wild Sting, and then a super Sting. And I'll go ahead and show you how that works really quickly. Alright, now the object of the game is you're going to be playing what is called sets and runs on your opponent. And a set is going to consist of 3 cards of the same number, at least. And you can have more than that if you have it. A run is going to consist of cards that are numerically consecutive with each other, and it is in the same color. Now the wild cards you will be able to use in place of a card in a set or a run. This is the Wild Sting. Say you had this and you want to make a little run with a wild card, you could do it like this. The Wild Double Sting, all these wild cards pretty much work the same way. The Double Sting is basically going to double the amount of points that your opponent is going to get on that particular set or run if you are the first person to run out of cards. Here is the Wild Triple Sting. This works the same way as a Double Sting, only the amount of the run or set that this is on is going to be tripled. This is a Wild Super Sting. What this card does is it makes the set or run that you play against your opponent locked. So if they play what's called the Pass a Pile card on you to try to pass a pile to you, if that run or set has this card, they will not be able to pass it to you. It's going to be stuck to them. Now, one thing I needed to make mention with the wild cards is that you can play as many wild cards on opponent's set or run as you want. The only thing you have to make sure of is that there are numbers in between each of these cards. Say I had a 2 here, I have to make this a 3, but I would have to have the actual number 4 here, and then I could put this as 5. What this is going to do, if you're able to actually score this, it's going to double their points, and then it's going to triple that on top of it. So these can be very helpful. And now we go to the Pass a Pile card. If your opponent has passed any sets or runs to you and you play this card, you will be able to pick one of those sets or runs and pass it right back to them. Now, if you have a Take It Back card, let's say somebody tried to pass some cards to me, a set or a run. If I play this card, then they're going to have to take that set or run back. They can also play another Take It Back card on mine and give it back to me. And basically, if there's like several of these cards that get played at the same time, the last person that plays the card is going to be allowed to pass the set or the run back to the opponent. So we'll go ahead and do a round or two here. What you're going to do is you're going to deal 10 cards out to each player. Now, in Sting, you have a choice. You can either draw 1 card from here, or you can draw 2 cards from here if you want to. So I'm looking at what I have right here, and I can actually go ahead and make something and pass it to my opponent. But let's just say I'm going to draw 1 card, and I've drawn a Pass a Pile. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pass these cards over to my opponent. What I have is a 7, an 8, a Double Sting, which counts as the 9, a 10, and then a Super Sting on top of that. So what I will do is I will go ahead and hand this to my opponent like so. And I'm going to go ahead and keep on looking to see if I have anything else I can play, and I don't. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to discard a 7 and put it here in the middle. So now my opponent is going to go ahead and go. And he's going to look at his hand, and he's going to decide, does he want to draw 1 card or 2? And so let's just say he decides he's going to draw 1 card. So he's drawn a Wild Double Sting. So let's make this interesting. Let us say my opponent decides he's going to play these 4 cards on me. So you've got 2 Double Stings and the 2 1s. So actually I have to set it up like this to make it legal. So he's going to go ahead and pass this to me to start. Now he has what is called the Pass a Pile card. He would normally try to see if he could play this, but since he has a Super Sting, he's not going to be able to. However, he can go ahead and play these cards right here. This is a set of 2 5s and a wild sting, and he's going to go ahead and pass this to me as well. And so right now that is all I can do, and I'm going to go ahead and play this 2 for my opponent right over here. Okay, so now it goes back to me. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to draw 2 cards, and I draw 1 and I draw 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play a pass a pile card right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and choose one of these piles to pass. Now my opponent does not have a take it back card, so I'm going to go ahead and pass him this since it's got 2 double stings on it, and it's going to go to him. And I also have another pass a pile card. I'm going to go ahead and play that, and then I'm going to pass this back to him as well. And right now that is all I'm going to be able to do, so I'm going to go ahead and lay down this 10, and that will end my turn. So now my opponent has 3 of these sets and runs right over here to score against him. So right now he's got these cards, and I'm going to go ahead and say, my opponent says, I'm going to draw 2. So he draws 1, and he draws 2. All right, so he has a pass a pile card. He's going to go ahead and play that on me. But wait, I have a take it back card. So now that I've played that, he's not going to be able to pass anything to me unless he has another take it back card, which he does not. So my opponent goes ahead and looks and doesn't really have anything he can play on me, so he's going to go ahead and discard this card right over here. So anyway, let's just say we've played a while and I've come down and I've got these cards in my hand. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to play these 3 cards on my opponent, like so, and then this last card I'm going to go ahead and discard, and that is going to mean I'm out of cards, and that will end the round. Now the way scoring will work is this is all going to count against my opponent. If my opponent had scored any sets or runs on me, they are not going to count against me because I went ahead and went out first. So the way scoring works in the typical game is you will just simply count each card as 1. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is 3 points. This will make 6 points right here. And with this is going to be quadrupled. So it'll be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 for that. And then we got this, which is also doubled. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So right now he's got 32 points, and then he's going to go ahead and count the cards that are in his hand as points as well. A number card is going to count as 1. This is going to count as 1, and the wild card is going to count as 5. Now basically the way scoring is going to work on here is the wild card counts as 5, double stings is 10, triple stings is 15, the pass a pile is 1, take it back is 1, the super sting is 5 points. And that's basically how you're going to count the score. You're going to just count the runs and the sets in front of you if you're the one that lost, and then the cards that are in your hand against you as well with that little scoring chart I give. And basically the game is going to keep going, and you just are basically going to agree on a set amount of points to go to, and the first person to get to that set amount of points is going to lose the game. So my thoughts on Sting. Well, if you like Rummy games, I think you're definitely going to like this game. This game is a very unique twist on Rummy. The Wild Sting cards definitely add a little bit of variety to it, and it definitely makes the scoring very, very interesting. Along with the pass-a-pile cards, you can pass like tons of cards over to your opponent, and if they don't have to take it back, then they're going to have to get stuck with it. And the only hope that they're going to have is to be the first person to run out of cards. This game plays fast. It's pretty easy to learn if you want to teach people how to play it. Again, this is just a Rummy variant. And this company did a lot of these kind of things. With Uno, they did a variant of Crazy Eights. With Top That, they did a variation of Dominoes. And this game is really no different. They just took Rummy and added some unique twists to it. But anyway, I would give this game probably about a 5.5 or somewhere in there. It's a fun little game. Nice. So anyway, that's my review. Y'all take care. We'll see you later.